Hi everyone, I thought we could do a little chatty update today, but I'm going to make a brew first. I've got my Slay All Day mug out of my cupboard. I was going to say storage. I keep my favourite mugs in like these cupboards here just because then I know that they're going to stay safe, and any that I'm like not as enamoured with go up in like the loft storage, you know, like themed stuff. But I have Slay All Day and I have Falala actually. These were both from Home Sense a while ago, but they're two of my favourites. They're such a good size. I've just got back from doing what with my nana. I'm gonna make some coffee while I chat to you. So I'm gonna do a big one. So I've got 2 pods. It's the Starbucks toffee nut ones that are back out again, you know, the Christmas special edition ones. I enjoy them because they are red and because they taste nice. Then I'm gonna do that, and then I have my Alpro Barista coconut milk, which I'm hoping this will actually remind me that I need to get some more of this for tomorrow morning because we are running low. There's not much left, and it's pretty much all that I drink at home. Like, I will drink cow's milk out and about, and I don't mind an oat milk now and again, but when I'm at home I just prefer to have this. So let's make this coffee and then we'll go and sit in the living room, shall we? So cheers. Oh, just let me have one sip, I really need this. Oh my gosh, can't beat it. I'm tired today. I woke up early, just before 6, because it was Christmas Tesco slot day. We love that. Why do they do it at 6 o'clock in the morning? Because I don't feel like anybody truly wants to get up at that time. It honestly feels like Hunger Games or something when you're doing it. You just sat there waiting. Like, I ended up, and bearing in mind it was like dead on 6 o'clock, I ended up waiting for an hour and a half to get through the queue. Which, do you know what? It was really annoying because for that whole time I was awake, and like for the most part not everybody else was either. So I did all like my normal morning jobs, but then I couldn't sit and scroll. Like, I couldn't like do my makeup and watch a couple of TikToks or anything because I just had this window open on my phone, and I was just like, oh my god. I'm very tired, and you can probably hear but yeah, you know when you go outside and you've got that sore throat and you breathe in and the cold air hurts, like it kind of like here. Yeah, I'm feeling a bit rubbish. I'm keeping my coat on for now because I'm just feeling like a bit bleh. I really wanted to come on and just do a little chatty update like I've been doing like every month. But the kids went back yesterday and it was right back in the deep end because Mondays are always really busy. To be fair, most of the days of the week are really busy, but it just felt a bit like, whoa, nobody wanted to wake up. Everybody was tired, and we had clubs and swimming lessons and this, that and the other, but it's like riding a bike, isn't it? You just sort of pick it up again. We had a really, really nice week together. Now, I'm not going to sit here and go, my children were angels. We were like the Von Trapps. We dressed up in curtains and sang a melody about deers and drops of golden sun. You know, sometimes they argued, sometimes they fought, sometimes we didn't know what to do with ourselves, sometimes we were a bit bored, sometimes they got a bit stressed about work. But for the most part, really, really enjoyed spending time with them. Really enjoying the season of life that we're at. I think when I started these videos, I was kind of explaining how like it's really weird when you become this kind of middle mom sort of dynamic. And I remember when Stan started school, I talked about this a lot, and it was just kind of that feeling where you just had to learn to let go, and you were kind of needed but not needed in the same way anymore. I think when your children do start to get older and you do start to notice them thrive away from you, which is obviously a really healthy and important thing to be able to do, you sort of have moments where you're like, fuck. And I was thinking about that like with Halloween. I felt really reflective because I remember trick-or-treating with 3 children. Now I only trick-or-treat with 2. And Bill was with his mate. He was having a sleepover there. And like, that is just... I can't remember the last time that he trick-or-treated with me. And I feel like awful that I don't. Like, I can't remember what he dressed up as. I obviously have memories of it. And like, it's not like I've forgotten doing it with him. But, you know, those times like people say you don't always remember the last time you pick your child up. And again, I can't remember the last time I picked Bill up. I can't remember. And then again, I was thinking about it yesterday because I got a notification on School Spider. Oh my God, doesn't School Spider just put the fear of dead into you? Like, you're like, fear of dead, fear of dread, dread of fear. Doesn't it just make you scared? Because every time I get a notification, I'm like, oh my God, what is this? What do I need to buy? What do I need to remember? Tell me. And it was like, hello, we're doing our performance of XYZ. I can't remember what it is. I think it's one that a lot of schools do. Shall I find out for you? You have to tell me what your kids are doing. Like, do they do nativities, this, that, and the other? Like, there's a bit of a divide in our school based on their age group. So we're doing lights camel action, which I think Bill did once upon a time, and I'm pretty sure Daisy did too. And an informal casting has taken place, and your child has been given the role of a sheep. And it just said, like, could you get a sheep costume, basically? And I was like, hi Amazon, because I don't think we've had a sheep before. Bill was a donkey, Daisy's been a star, but it hit me, and I am going to be soft and sentimental here, but I'm assuming if you're following me, you're my kind of gal. I don't know, I hope you are. Even then, our differences are often what unite us, friend. But I was there and I was thinking, fuck, this is the last proper nativity that I'm going to watch, because from year 3 onwards, they kind of do like a Christmas Carol performance instead. And I just felt a bit, I don't know, like, not sad, but kind of sad at the same time, because I won't watch a nativity again after this, because Stan will move up into year 3, which I think is when it starts. There's going to be no sheep, there's going to be no donkeys, there's going to be no stars. I remember Bill being a wise man. Oh my God, I'm getting emotional. Flipping hell, this time of year. This time of year. Honestly, I am the most sentimental old soul you will ever meet. Honestly. But I bought this sheep costume and I was like, oh my God. Fuck. This is really weird, and I'm really, really excited that he's going to be a sheep, you know? But those moments, as daft as it sounds, hearing me going, it upset me a little bit. Those moments are the moments that we remember when we look back on Christmas as parents. And I'm all too aware of the fact that, you know, it's gone really quick, because there's a 6-year age gap between Bill and Stan, which is quite a decent sized age gap. And when Stan is Bill's age, so when he's 12, Bill will be at uni. And that's in 6 years. And I can remember Bill being 6. And I think that was Wise Man year, actually. I remember him singing the song in front of the Christmas tree. I'm sure it's on a vlog actually somewhere, but like it's gone so fast. And I'm getting older too. I am. Mark's 37 now. I'll be 37 in January, and we discussed recently that we didn't mind anything up until 36 because it sounded like mid-30s. But in my mind, 37 is nearly 40, and I don't know why, but it's just sort of in the last few years, obviously especially with all my health journey and stuff, I've become very, very aware of the fact that like time is not promised, tomorrow is not promised. Yeah, I feel like I'm more aware now that I'm getting older, and I've had this conversation with you before about things like Botox and, you know, filler and feeling like that pressure of, is it okay just to do it my way and age naturally, even though I feel like that can be challenging because the goalposts are moved. Like I've got like friends and acquaintances who I know that like do those sort of procedures and stuff and they look flipping brilliant, but then I think I don't know if that is for me, but then I feel a bit insecure because I'm like, am I going to look older than they do eventually? I don't know. I'm trying with my skincare though. I try really hard. I try like eat a lot of fruit and veg and hydrate. Maybe I have too much caffeine, but you know, I try. And those things at the moment, they're constantly in my head. And one of our friends, we have a really, I'm gonna have a sip of this, otherwise it's gonna go stone cold Steve Austin and I'll be fuming at the end of this video. One moment. We have some really close friends. You'll have heard me talk about like Suzanne and Noah, and then Lee is Suzanne's husband, and like we're really, really good mates, and they feel like family. Like they feel like my children's like aunties and uncles. Got a lot of friends like that who really step up for my kids in that way, and I'm so grateful to have like those extra people in their lives. And it was Lee's birthday recently. It was last week, but his party was on Saturday night, and he was turning 50, and like the age gap like doesn't bother any of us. Like we couldn't give a toss. Like when you just get on with people, you get on with people. We were just celebrating him at the weekend. We had such a good night. It was so funny. We had the best time. And I was just looking at all these people around me and thinking like, oh my God, they're so incredible. And while sometimes I can look at a number and I can feel intimidated about turning like another year older. You can see me fidgeting. I'm stroking Elsa. I don't know if you can see her. Come here. Here she is. She likes to. You don't see my cats very often because when it's warm, you like to go outside, don't you? But then the second it gets cold, suddenly she is an indoor baby. You're a good girl. You're purring. You're so cute. But yeah, I was just looking at him and like my friends and stuff and thinking like they are inspiring to me, and I love looking at them and thinking like, why am I so afraid of being a bit older? Because my mates are flipping amazing. I love them all to death. Like I'm so proud of them all, and I was so proud to be there, and we had such a nice time together. And it's just, I don't know, I'm just so reflective these days. I've kind of touched on it in past videos where I've said that like I'm just really mindful of everything in life that I could lose, and none of those things are actually like, obviously I understand the importance of having a home and a roof over our heads and a car. We have the one car, second-hand car. It's not the fanciest or anything like that, and I'm lucky for all of those material things that we sort of need for survival and like to live a comfortable and happy life. But when I say I'm really scared about what I could lose, it's the people, and I'm still reflective of that now, especially at this time of year when you come to do that cycle of grief. And I am fast approaching the anniversary of the day that we lost my granddad, and that's going to be sad, and Christmas is going to be hard. Nana's coming to mind this year, and I'm just sad that it's not both of them. But you know, you sort of, when he first passed away, I used to talk to him, and I don't as much anymore. I'm sorry about that, Grandad. Maybe I should. I talk to him in my head sometimes, but I used to talk out loud. I'd just sit in my room and I would really give in to my grief. I would just cry. I would sob. I would cry every day for months. And grief just poured out of me. Like if you cut me, I felt like I would just bleed sadness. And I used to just talk to him all the time, and I used to say to him, I promise you I'm going to look after her. I'm going to look after her, and I'm going to make sure she smiles and she's happy and she does the things that, you know, she wants to do. And I'm going to try my best, Grandad. And I feel like I've been able to do that this year. Like we just had our walk this morning. Don't worry, I didn't like give her this and stuff. I always feel like I have to say that now since COVID, because you have a different viewpoint on meeting up with people, don't you, when you're poorly? Because I feel like it's just sort of inbuilt into me, like, oh, I don't know if I want to spread this around anymore. And yeah, we had such a nice walk together, a nice time together, and we fostered like a really different type of relationship, which I think I've touched on a few times now. And I'm really grateful for that, and like I really hope that, you know, I've made her feel happy and you know, given her the company if she needed it, and this, that and the other, and I hope I've made him proud. But I am feeling weird about the run up to Christmas. I'm like really excited about it, and I want to do a really good job. You know, like me and Mark, we're a good team and we'll work together, but I always put the pressure on myself. Like, I'm the cook in our house as well. You can do quite a few good dishes, but when it comes to like roast and stuff, that's kind of my domain. I always feel like in a lot of relationships, there's always one of you that is like the roast king or queen, isn't there? And I feel so much pressure to make sure that everything is perfect for everyone. I just want everyone to have really nice, happy memories, and I want to make sure that I facilitate that. And you know, it's just the little things that I remember from my childhood. I can't tell you what presents I got at certain years, and your kids won't be able to remember either, but they will remember the music that was playing when you got round somebody's house, the way it smelled. Like I've spoken before, like my grandma always has this potpourri from M&S that just smells like Christmas to me. I really ought to buy some myself. I never do, because I always feel like, no, that's grandma's house's smell. But things like that, and like just memories of decorations, and like pushing a little button on the nativity, and the nativity now is something that I own, so my kids know to push the little button on the nativity, and like, you know, dancing reindeers, and seeing the local round table organisation bring Father Christmas round on a sleigh that's dragged by someone's Volvo. It's that kind of thing. Like, there are so many different memories, and none of them involve gifts, none of them, but they involve like people. So now I'm like, I want my house to smell perfect. I want people to open the door and be like, oh, this is Christmas, because we're at Charlotte's and Mark's house, and like the noise of the kids laughing and all that. Like, I just feel like we have so much power to be able to be such a positive impact on people's lives, and it's not about the gifts at all. I wouldn't mind if anybody, like, you know, didn't get me anything. Just company is what I want, and I feel really especially grateful for that this year. But I also feel very sad, because it used to be a tradition, as we've got a large family and we've got a lot of co-parenting going on. So there's co-parenting on my side with Bill, there's co-parenting on Mark's sister's side with her stepchildren, and then we've got large families, especially on both sides of my family. Then Bill's obviously got like a family on his side, and Bill's like a brother again, so he's got another little brother now that was born in the summer, and that is often quite sort of hard to navigate. But one thing we always did was on Christmas Eve, I would always go and visit my nana and granddad, and I've been doing that for years and years and years, and I am not sure how I feel about Christmas Eve this year, to be quite honest. And we have other traditions, like we always save up our Tesco vouchers, our club card vouchers, to go to Pizza Express, because it's like having a fancy meal for free, and the kids love pizza, and you know, like those vouchers just mean that if we want another festive cocktail that they often do, we can just get one and eat, drink and be merry, and come home and do all the traditions and stuff. And I actually think Suzanne, Lee and Noah are going to join us this year. But all, like, you know, all these things I look forward to loads, but then that is going to be hard for me. And I cried last year when I left, because I took that photo, which I think you probably shared, you've seen me share a few times, with my granddad and my nana and the kids. And I never force like photos on people, as much as this is my job and I love to like document things. I often, if I do anything, it's very, very discreet, and I don't like to film people without them knowing, or without, like, you know, asking and stuff. But that year I just felt compelled to take the photo, and I'm so glad that I did. But when I left, I cried, and I said to Mark, I don't know why I'm crying, but I just felt like that was going to be the last one. And I think Grandad knew too. Mark and I both talked about that before, and it was just a weird feeling. And And yeah, this year's gonna be weird. I'm really happy about it. I'm really excited, but I am in a weird state of like grief again. And I think it just goes to show that it is so like swings and roundabouts. It is so like, it's not even cyclical because it's just unpredictable and messy. And you know, I have a couple of weeks or maybe a month or so where I'm like, oh no, I feel okay with it. I've made my peace with it. I understand. I've grieved. You know, I've worked my way through it. And then the next minute, I feel like someone has just gone, and I'm reeling. And I guess that's something that I'm always kind of sort of learn to live with as I get older and stuff. But yeah, Christmas is going to be good. I've booked my Christmas slot, as you well know. I've booked every week up until Christmas and also the week in between Christmas and New Year, because then I don't have to worry about battling to get a spot, and I can just, you know, feel a bit more organised. I feel like it's a little win. I feel like I started today strong. And honestly, I'd really recommend doing it. So if you do have Delivery Saver or something like that with whatever supermarket you tend to do your big shop at, get them booked in now, because you can normally book quite a bit in advance. And it just means now, just set a reminder on your phone, like the day before it's meant to come, go back on and amend it, do the proper grocery order, just add a couple of things for now, save them, check out, and then you can go back and change it. And it just means then you're not having to rush out to the shops, you're not having to do like a run around with your kids and this, that and the other, and you've just got that security. Because the next few weeks, how long is it now till Christmas? 6 weeks, 7 weeks, something like that. They're gonna fly. And if you can do anything to make your life easier, I say do it. Do it this week. Like, it's the first like full week of November, isn't it? Go through and start thinking, what can I do? What can I do? I started a spreadsheet yesterday of Christmas gifts, mainly for the children, because that is where most of our like finances go, and it's the hardest thing to organise, because we end up having a queue of family members like, what do the kids want? And then I'm sat there, and you know, when you just like, I don't know, because I'm trying to think of ideas for myself and like I'm asking the kids and they don't really know, and so that can be really difficult. So I've tried to start doing that so I can stay on top of things and it's a bit more organised. And then I need to start working out like family and stuff and what they would like. And I think I need to start preparing myself a little bit better, because I get so stressed. And it's just the perfectionist in me. Like, I want people to be happy so much, and I'm like, oh, I hope this is enough. I hope this is enough. I hope I've done enough. And then all of a sudden it's over, isn't it? And you're like, oh my God, it's Boxing Day. What? That's mad. And then we enter January, which is just like, but that is, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. And like fitness stuff, obviously, and I said I'd like to touch on that. One big thing that made me so happy, if you follow me on Instagram, you already know what it is, but I had these 2 dresses a while ago, and I think the last time I fit in them was when I got married, and they were my favourite dresses. I wore them every single season. I didn't care if they were old. I just re-wore them. I love re-wearing clothes. I'm an outfit repeater, and I will be forever, because that's completely normal behaviour, by the way. You don't need new clothes every single day. It's okay to wear the same outfit. It's absolutely fine. But I would wear them, and I loved them, and I would really look forward to wearing them. They made me feel $1 million. And then they were, so you know how some sort of fabric, like I wear stuff like this, is stretchy, like this isn't stretchy, but like whatever. But then some things are kind of fabric where there's no stretch. It was like kind of like a gauzy, sort of satiny, sort of similar to that but not shiny material. There was no give in it. There was a zip, and for me personally, I felt like they came up particularly small. And I wore them when we were on our honeymoon in Bath, and then that's when I was going through like therapy at the time. And then in the January after that, so we got married in September, went on our honeymoon in like end of September maybe, wore them a few times throughout the Christmas season, and then like January that year is when I started taking antidepressants. So that's not when, like, you guys won't have known that then, because I didn't share it until a year later, because, you know, sometimes it's all right to do things for yourself and you don't have to share it with everybody. And over that time, I just felt like those tablets changed my life, and I don't regret taking them at all, but they very much just kind of helped me coast through things. Like, but my whole, like, I did feel like numb towards the end. I didn't feel like I was mega happy anymore. I just felt kind of like very neutral. It wasn't really me. And then I also just felt like my metabolism completely changed, and like my body just changed. And it was only really since I came off them that I've had like the ability to go, right, something needs to change now. And I've spoken about this several times, but for Lee's 50th at the weekend, I thought I'm just going to try them on, because I said I wouldn't try them on until December. That was my goal for this year, because I didn't want to disappoint myself too early. But I thought I don't really have anything I want to wear, and if I could wear them, I'd be so happy. And tried them on, and they fit, and it fit like 5 weeks earlier than what I intended. And I was so happy that I cried. I was so happy, and I felt amazing in them. And that is just what it was about for me. Just like I look in the mirror now, or I sit here in front of you now, and so many times I get comments of people saying, you just seem like yourself again. You've got your sparkle back, you've got your pink back, you've got your glow back. And I have, and it wasn't necessarily about weight or fitness. Obviously I'm only human, and I wasn't happy in the body that I was in. Oh no. Hello? Oh, bless him. I'm around. I'll come. I'll bring Calpol and I'll see how he is. Because if he seems like off, I'll bring him home. Because it might be that he's got an ear infection and get him in at the doctor's or something. All right. See you later. Bye. And on that note, Stan's got an earache, and they want me to go and check on him, bring some Calpol, see how he is. But I might end up at the GP. So I'm gonna love you and leave you. What a no. I've got a sore throat. He's not feeling well. Could it be autumn, winter anymore if it tried? But I'm going to love you and leave you. Take care. I've got to go and be a mum. You have a lovely rest of your day. And I'll see you all very, very soon. Bye.